Hey everybody, it's Chief Forecaster David Alford. Good evening. It is 9:06 on this August 3rd. Last time we talked was on a Friday, and we had severe weather here in central Texas. It's been a few days, technically just 1.5 days since we last spoken. But we are back. I took a miniature break of the weather. Actually, I tried to take a miniature break of the weather, but the weather came to me on Saturday. I actually had some thunderstorms on Saturday, and then today on Sunday, there were some storms in my vicinity. And then here we are this evening, and things were looking a-okay. But again, yesterday, I was trying to take a break from weather, and I had storms in my area. So I did not get a break. I was actually technically storm chasing yesterday instead of just sitting down and enjoying the normal weather. But anyways, happy Sunday evening, everybody. It's Chief Forecaster David Alford. The next Monday's here. So this Monday, that's tomorrow, and the Monday after will be my final Mondays of no school. And then after that, I have school. School starts next Wednesday for me, unfortunately. I'm not ready for school, but then I am sometimes. So here and there, I'm ready for school. So yes and no, I'm ready for school. But anyways, at least for the next week and a half, I'm here with weather. Of course, if you got any questions, comments, or anything like that, feel free to comment down below. Want to say hi, feel free to do so. But we got a forecast to talk about. This is a different, I won't say different style. It's a different look to the forecast. It's I got some, we're going to talk tropics in this update here. We got your weather surface forecast here, and we got a little bit of other stuff as well coming here soon. So again, we'll talk about all of that coming up in just a moment. Alright, so let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much what I have for right now. So let's go ahead and take a live look outside at some locations out there. Actually, before we get to the stream more, we got Rima, we got Kristen in the chat. Good evening, everybody, so far. And of course, you guys have anything else you want to add, feel free to comment down below. Alright, let's go and take a few live shots out there. Here's a live look right now here in the capital city of Texas. That is the ATX Austin, and things are looking, well, mighty dry out there. It is. Oh, it's it's a mixture of clouds and clear skies right now, but not too bad out there right now in Austin, Texas. Here is San Antonio, and things are looking pretty okay out there as well right now. So that is wonderful to see. Here's a live look at I-35, brought to you by Round Rock Honda, or Hyundai, and you can see, no, it's Honda, excuse me. And you can see that things are pretty good out there right now as people are commuting around on I-35 this afternoon, or excuse me, wow, I was going to say this afternoon, I was going to say this morning, and it's actually evening, almost night, it's about nighttime, so my brain is all over the place. So, this late evening, so not looking too bad out there right now. And let's go ahead and take another live look out there. Let's take a look at South Austin, shall we? Here's South Austin. Things are looking, well, we can't really get a good idea of what things are looking like out there in South Austin, but you can see a bright light, the skyline barely in the distance because the lights are so bright, and that's about it. But this is your Howdy Honda camera in South Austin. Did I get a new phone? My new phone has not came yet. Don't know exactly what I'll be getting yet, and I don't know when I'll get it, but sometime soon, probably this week or next week, I will get a new phone, hopefully. But again, we'll see how things go. Alright, before we continue further, here's a look at temperatures right now. It is 94 here in Austin. It's 93 in LaGrange, 92 in Marble Falls. It's 90 in Rockdale. It's 98 right now in San Antonio, so it is a toastier one out there this evening. And as we go ahead and take a live look right now, once again in Austin, Texas, as we take a look at the skyline, you can see that things are relatively nice. The only thing we get is city lights in the distance, and that is about it with what we are experiencing on this live shot. So, as I come on the green screen now, again, Austin, Texas, things are looking great as we have those buildings right now. So, as we take a look at the radar right now, you can see that we are pretty much dry across the area. We're not going to do any, as of this update right now, here at 9:10, we're not going to do any significant radar tracking, but we do got storm chances in the forecast tonight, which could lead to a low and flood risk, which we'll take a look at in just a moment. So I have everything turned off right now for me, editing wise, so that's turned off right now, so we're not going to be, tapping and stuff like that. But anyways, you can see across the Austin area, things are pretty dry right now. Off towards the south San Antonio, Things are pretty good right now. My girlfriend that lives just southeast of San Antonio has told me that the weather over there is pretty nice this afternoon, but temperatures where she was at was in the mid 90s. So hot over there, but it was in the upper 90s here where I live at in central Texas. And then further up north, things have been relatively dry for now. There was some severe weather out in West Texas, but now just a special weather statement and some severe storms out in the Panhandle, which will make a run our direction here soon. So as we go and take a look at your forecast here, our almanac here shows a high of 99 degrees in Austin, Texas this afternoon. A normal is 97 and a record of 107 a couple years ago or so. And as we take a look at what we're tracking a very mild night tonight with some storm chances tonight. Also a low-end flood risk today, not tomorrow. And then we're tracking some storm chances here in the next 2 days. So, zoomed in version of the radar, nothing in our location, in our area right now. Tonight's forecast going to be into the mid to upper 70s across the I-35 corridor, and then mid to upper 70s east of I-35, out towards the hill country, low to mid 70s tonight. But where you see that, like, you see how there's like a different yellow color, we're actually going to be having the risk for some storms later this evening or later tonight, so that's why you see a different kind of color right here. So areas that have that different shade of color will have a risk for storms tonight. So again, that's why you see Fredericksburg at 72 and Mason potentially at 72 degrees tonight. So I know it's super glitchy. I'm still working on my green screen and everything, everybody. Your flood risk tonight is a level 1 out of 4, so it's a limited flood risk for Mason, Llano, Burnett, and far northwestern Williamson counties tonight. The risk is there for at least an inch of rain, but the storms that happen, if they can survive from Kansas to our way by like 2 or 3 o'clock tomorrow morning, if they can survive our way, we potentially could have some very small chance of flooding across Mason and Llano counties. But as the storms make an approach into our area, they should be weakening by early morning tomorrow. But the question is, do they actually weaken? Most of the models do show it weakening. Some models say nothing will happen. And a few models saying that we could have a pretty heavy rainfall event west of I-35 by tomorrow. So as of now, I'm leaning more towards we're barely going to see any rain tonight. The rain chance is very limited, 20%, and that is about it. Besides that, your forecast tomorrow has some storms in the forecast tomorrow, mainly east of I-35 tomorrow. You can actually tell. Actually, tomorrow's rain chance will be very isolated, I should say, but mid to upper 90s pretty much everywhere. Double 9s for highs in San Antonio and Gonzales, 96 in Loudoun, 95 in Boerne, 96 Atlanta, 94 Burnett, 97 Austin, and 93 out towards Cameron for highs tomorrow. So again, not looking too bad, but of course, the further south you go and further west you go, the warmer and hotter it will be, but the further north and northeast you go, the cooler it will be in today's weather. Tomorrow's forecast, waking up in the upper 70s, mid to upper 80s by lunchtime, and in mid 90s by 4 p.m. with scattered storms in our forecast on your Monday as a disturbance will be rolling through our area. Precipitation amounts by Tuesday morning. It doesn't really give you a good idea. Well, I don't want you to exactly just like look at one specific area of rain, but the general idea is the risk is there for some people seeing isolated chances of storms, and you may get actual amounts of precipitation of rain. But again, there's just these going to be isolated areas that could see rain, but again, don't exactly pinpoint where you see quite a bit of rain. Again, it could be a little bit further west, it could be further east, it could be further north, it could be further south, but again, all I'm showing you is the risk is there for some storms this evening. All right, rain chances about a 20% on your Monday, 10% Tuesday. Again, a disturbance comes our way Monday. I may be underdoing our rain chance on Monday, so we may have to increase that to a 30%. Tuesday relatively looks like a small 10% chance, and then after that, no more rain is warranted in our forecast. So your weather pattern by Wednesday, ridge high pressure takes over in our forecast. That will eventually slide further off towards the east, and while that occurs, temperatures start to spike and warm back up here in south central Texas. So as we go ahead and take a full check of your 7-day forecast now, you're going to see that things are relatively going to be toasty in just a moment as we take a look at tropics here. I actually forgot we had tropics to look at. I should have did tropics and then your outlook forecast. So here's the tropics: a 0% chance of something developing near the Florida area and South Carolina, but in the next 7 days there's actually a 20% chance. That has not updated. And then you see that red north of Bermuda. In the next 2 days, a 70% chance of something developing, but a 90% chance of actually something developing in the next 7 days. Y'all can tell this is a homemade graphic because there's so much errors with this graphic here. So next 7 days, a 90% chance on the second box there. And in the orange, you see just to the east of Dominican Republica, and you can see a 40% chance of something developing in the next 7 days. So now let's take a look at that 7-day forecast, and you can see some storm chances on your Monday at 95 for a high, and then Tuesday 97 with those small storm chances. So again, a little disturbance comes our way on Monday. Again, I may be underdoing our rain chances, but as of now 20%. A very small chance on Tuesday. And then after that, ridge of high pressure, as mentioned, gets closer to our area, starts to dominate our skies. Clouds will trade in clouds, the sun, and humid conditions, as it's already been humid the last few days. But the humidity will increase just a tad. The sunshine will be shining brighter than ever. And then this weekend, a mixture of clouds and sun, upper 90s, and still very humid. We're struggling to find any more rain chances as of right now in our forecast. So, again, that's what we're tracking right now this evening on our forecast. Reading the chat here, my school starts Monday the 11th. I hate it. It's coming and we can't... Oh, yeah, no phones at all. That's what most school districts are doing, actually, across the United States, which I'm finding is more a common thing. Some people don't start school until September, but... trying to think. Some people don't start school till September, but I start school, unfortunately, the 13th of August. So, yeah. Yep. That's my life right there. And I guess we did a little behind the scenes right there. But my faults for messing that scene there. Yeah, I did show behind the scenes. Crap. Alright, all good. When I try to redo a forecast or whatever, I say full screen, I split my screen, adjust the graphics, and then we go back to your forecast. So, my apologies for that behind the scenes. Alright. You're homeschooled, so that makes sense. Hello there, Lucas. Guys, just an update. Starting tomorrow, actually starting weekdays, I think. Yeah, it should be starting weekdays. Starting on Tuesday, we got new morning forecast coming your way. It will either be, if there's like crazy weather happening, it will be live in the mornings, I believe. But if there's like no crazy weather happening, it will be a video. But Bryce, he will be making a video or stream every morning for y'all starting weekdays, starting on Tuesday. And I will control your guys' afternoon and evening. Well, actually, afternoon. He'll control your afternoon forecast as well. And I'll take over evening and nighttime. Because I got school starting here soon, and it's going to be very difficult for me to, do afternoon forecast because I won't get out of school until 3:40, and I won't get home till like 5 almost, so, or even later. So Bryce will be doing your forecast mornings and afternoons, and occasionally, sometimes evenings. There might be a day where y'all might just see him for a whole day potentially. Or there might be just one update that occurs on a certain day. But at least every single day till the foreseeable future for now, forecasts are planned every day starting on Tuesday. Again, we didn't do a forecast on Saturday, because it was a little break day and I was not home. I wasn't home today. I actually just got home recently. So, again, that's what I've been up to. So, again, everybody, that's what I got for right now with your weather. Let's go ahead and do some radar tracking on the radar this evening here. And you can see that we're tracking some activity out there already. Before we, okay, I think everything should be working fine. So, as you can see on radar right now, here in Central Texas, South Central Texas, there is nothing happening in our immediate viewing area. But if we go ahead and drag this and go up to It's been a while since I've last used the radar system, ever since Friday. So it's a little glitchy, a little slow, it's a little behind, or it will be, or I think it is already. So please don't mind the slowness that we'll be having with the radar today. So, of course, I got the weather chat pulled up. So a lot of times, if I'm like squinting or slouching down or looking over there, that's where the weather chat is, and that's where they're typing up something or they're about to post something in the chat. So I'm trying to get more information. And again, it's for Austin, not Oklahoma City or anything like that. So let's see. So nope, that did not work. So yeah, we got that taken care of. So this is why I use the other map. My bad. Alright. So, you guys remember me mentioning, hey, there is a storm risk tonight, low in flood risk, that's the title of the video. We actually have some severe weather underway right now in Oklahoma, so you may be curious, okay, the risk for some severe weather is there up north, but will it actually have a threat to central Texas tonight? Again, the risk is there. I'm going to be honest, it's a very low risk, but it is there, and it's not zero, so we're going to be cautious. We're going to watch it closely. By the way, I will be up until about 3 in the morning this upcoming tomorrow morning to watch the radar, to monitor things, and if I notice things are getting out of hand or crazy, I will get a live stream going, we'll get the radar going, and we'll do some coverage if anything crazy happens. As of now, that looks very likely to happen, but knowing Central Texas weather, things can change very rapidly. So as we go and take a look at your radar right now out in Oklahoma, there we go. You can see some thunderstorms out there out in western sections, or northwestern sections, I should say, of Oklahoma, and even portions of the panhandle of Oklahoma, as well as portions of the panhandle of Texas. A complex of thunderstorms off towards our northwest. This will make a driven word south into our area early tomorrow morning by 2, 3 in the morning potentially. We could have these thunderstorms if they can hold together. These could come into portions of Mason and Llano counties, and this could bring in a risk for some storms, maybe a low-end flood threat, but overall, these storms are pretty strong to severe right now as they're all the way a state away from us, but still, we cannot rule out the risk. If there's a risk, there's a chance. So again, we're going to have to watch this closely as the National Weather Service, the Weather Prediction Center, and even the SPC is also monitoring things very, very closely for our area. So again, we'll continue to watch it, we'll continue to monitor this, and we'll continue to keep you up to date. So anything in Wichita, Kansas, right now storms are just to your guys' west right now out in Wichita. Alright, we got more comments to read here. Oh, in Arkansas, that's nice. Yes, Cody Knox in the chats. Yeah, we are covering your home state right now. Some storms off to your northwest. I think I remember where you live. Not like specifically, obviously, but in Oklahoma. I'm not going to say exactly where, but yeah, storms to your northwest or to your west, so not too bad. Those storms are warning for golf ball size hail and 70-mile-per-hour winds. Wow. So yeah, thank you for letting me know, because I did not know that was happening because I didn't click on it or anything. So, again, right now, as you saw in the chat there, or if you didn't, but as you just heard me talk, Cody Knox just said these storms out in northwest Texas, or Oklahoma, golf ball size hail, 70-mile-per-hour winds. So these storms are packing a punch right now as a considerable threat of severe weather underway right now. But again, the risk is there for these to drive further southbound into our area tonight. Anything? Okay, so yeah, we got that. Love the little tools at the top of the school of the radar. I love the tools on the radar. I think it's probably what you mean. But yeah. By the way, these are handmade icons. Well, not icon. Well, actually, the icons, I used a website for to get the icons. Did some coding, did connecting the pieces, but 2D, 3D now, this play button, and this button right here, I custom made. Everything else, I found on websites. But, again, coding and a whole lot of practicing, and I got things nailed down finally. I'm still deciding if I want to continue to have it up here or I want it down here. And it could be cool to have it down here, but then it's people. I don't know. I like it up here as well. But anyways, yeah. I love the little tool set at the top of the radar, right below. Yeah, I did too. I prefer it right here. And potentially, I could just like move that up here maybe. No, I couldn't because y'all need to see that. So, anyways. Yep. You're in the central part of the state. Okay, so OKC. So as of right now, just to your west. But question is can it continue to backbuild further northeast? If it can, hey, you make it something. We'll see. If you do, let me know. I'm curious. Very curious, actually. Let's see here. There was a tornado warning in Kansas. Yes, there was. I was actually, that's when I got home. So as soon as I got home from my lake house this weekend, or earlier this weekend and today, I was like in western Kansas. I'm like, whoa, we got a tornado. Obviously, we're not going to cover it because we don't do national weather. But it's like, wow. That was a crazy kickstart to come back home too. So crazy weather. But that's your regional weather right now across the South Central Plains. And that's the storms that will make our way. Here's downtown Austin right now. Things are relatively okay. Beautiful shot of the skyline right now as it is just dark out there. But the city of Austin is obviously, the lights are on. There's electricity. Everything's working fine. So that's wonderful news. I know I know we're so pixelated and everything. My apologies for that. I am still testing everything out with the lighting and everything in here. So just bear with me as we have these horrible pixels out and around me. So again, my apologies. Alright, I'm going to redo your forecast in case you missed it. I'm going to do it again. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, want to say hi, feel free to do all of that. So, today in Austin, we made a high of 99 degrees, just 1 degree shy of 100. So, double nines today. Normal's 97, record 107. So, we were just below that today by 8 degrees. Our normal temperature compared to today, I should say, is 2 degrees. Warmer than what we're supposed to be from today. So again, some crazy warm temperatures today. So what we're tracking, some very mild warm temperatures tonight with some storm chances. There is a low in flood risk for tonight, not tomorrow. But we're also tracking some storm chances tomorrow and your Monday as the disturbance rolls through, and a storm chance as well on Tuesday, but very low chance. Doppler radar in a local perspective, it is pretty dry for right now. And as we take a look at your forecast tonight, here's the areas where you could potentially see storms tonight. So you can see the different colors and the brighter colors here. A greater chance of seeing storms tonight if storms can hold together. And this darker color is an area where storms are less likely to occur tonight, but it's not 100% zero. But overall, west of I-35, low to mid-70s tonight. I-35 corridor points east, mid to upper 70s. For tonight, with average lows at 76. We're gonna be in the double sevens tonight here in the capital city and San Antonio as well. To Georgetown, to Luling, to Gonzales, to LaGrange, to Giddings. Most of us in the mid 70s tonight. Tonight's forecast with the flood threat a level 1 out of 4. Limited flood risk tonight for portions of Mason, Llano, Burnett, and northwestern Williamson counties. Again, something we'll watch closely. The risk for significant flooding is about a 1% out of 100% chance, so very low chance. With the risk for getting at least an inch plus of rain out in Mason, Llano, Burnett, and portions of Williamson County, the risk is about a 30 to 40% chance. So again, something we're watching closely. But overall, my confidence in rain tonight and the coverage of us seeing rain tonight is relatively a 10, 20, to a 30% tonight. So I'm not that confident for rain chances tonight, but if there's a threat and there's an outlook, there's a risk and there's a chance. So we're going to be keeping eyes on this closely. Also, some models have been indicating that another round of storms later tonight into early tomorrow morning by 6 a.m. could be impacting areas east of I-35. So another thing that we're going to have to watch very closely. Besides that, your forecast tomorrow, another day of storm chances, about a 20% chance, but areas north of San Marcos, Bernie to LaGrange going to be into the low to mid 90s, but southbound, double nines are highs in San Antonio and Gonzales, toasty, but the risk will be there as well for storms, but greater chances north of those three cities. As we take a look at your hourly forecast in Austin tomorrow, waking up at 77 with double sevens, double eights by noon for lunchtime, and in mid-90s by 4 p.m. with scattered storms out in the viewing area. And then the precipitation amounts by Tuesday morning. Don't focus on exactly where the green is at. Obviously, the green is amounting of precipitation. You can see the lighter the green, not super heavy. The darker the green, roughly around an inch of rain. But again, you may see a whole swath of rain just east of Blanco. Hey, 1 to 2 inches possible. Luling, Gonzales, yeah. I mean, the risk is there of anybody in our area seeing 1 to 2 inches of rain, at least in the next 48 hours. But, again, don't just specifically look at those areas or just seeing the rain chances. It's really anywhere that will have that chance. But overall, this particular model does have confidence, and so do I, that we'll have storm chances going through at least the next 72 hours. Not everybody will see rain in the next 72 hours, but some people will. Rain chances, 20% Monday, down to a 10% Tuesday, and if things go down to a goose egg starting on Wednesday through portions of next weekend. Why is that? We got a ridge of high pressure underway out in West Texas. It's going to be hot. OMG. And that's going to do a big influx into our temperatures. So, as we take a look at the tropics here, this is custom made. Obviously, you can tell because that's supposed to say 20%. That's supposed to say the next 7 days. So, my apologies with the mess ups on the words there. But 20% next 7 days, just near Florida and South Carolina. And then this dark red just north of Bermuda. 70% chance next 2 days. But, hey, Tropical Storm Dexter potentially developing in the next 7 days, as we had 90% chance confidence from the National Hurricane Center. Next 2 days coming out from Africa, about a 0%, but next 7 days, it's roughly around a 40% chance. So we got some decent chances here, guys, with seeing something tropical at least. But overall, as I mentioned last week, I do think the Atlantic is going to wake up, and this is some great signs that we're starting to see. All right, back here in Central Texas, the weather is staying toasty and hot after storm chances for tonight and going into tomorrow. Very slim chance on Tuesday, but after that, temperatures start to warm back up. We trade the clouds for more sun, and the humidity will also continue to be on a rise as we struggle for nice cool raindrops in our forecast almost every day next week. And the risk is there for almost none. That's your forecast. So, again, everybody, that's what we have right now. As we take a look at the chat right now, lots of power outages with those storms in Oklahoma. Yes, I would not be surprised, especially having a 70-mile-per-hour wind gust and at least baseball-size hail or golf ball size, so quite some large hail. So, again, we're going to continue to update you guys on all of that. Well, we won't really because we're focusing on Central Texas weather. But if you guys want other updates and out-of-state of weather or out-of-state of Austin weather, of course, there's tons of other people that cover that as well. All right, so let's jump back to radar real quick, and let's go ahead and see if we have anything to see or play around or check around with. As of right now, I'm not seeing a whole lot. Obviously in like Austin area right now, but out towards Oklahoma. Again, this is supposedly the round of storms that will be making a run into our area. It's impacting Woodward, Oklahoma right now as we're speaking. Could make a run to Oklahoma City here soon. We're also noticing some severe weather here or just north of the panhandle of Texas, but a lone severe storm out in the panhandle of Oklahoma. We'll see how those storms go. Some severe weather in Colorado this evening. So some wild weather for sure out there across the United States. There was some severe weather out in West Texas, but things are starting to wind down as we are losing daytime heating. In Austin, things are dry for now. So, again, if we have storms tonight, I'm going to be up to 2 to 3 o'clock in the morning because most models are saying that's when the precipitation chances could start to increase. And I will be here if that does happen. We'll get a radar going. We'll get live coverage coming. And of course, we'll monitor and track all of this for you if we see storms. And if we get storms, and it's not like super crazy or super bad, but if I think it is, I will come on air and do an update. But if it's not, no stream will happen. No radar stream will be needed or necessary. I will only do it if I think it's really bad or if we get an outlook from the Weather Prediction Center for a flood threat or a severe weather threat. That's the only reason why we'll get a stream. Or if there's severe weather alerts, or if you get a watch, if you get a special weather statement or anything, I will come on. But if it's just good old storms and nothing's happening, I will not come on the air. And again, the latest I'll stay up is until 3 in the morning. If nothing crazy happens before 3 in the morning, I'm going to bed. And if it happens after while I'm asleep, I won't know until I wake up later in the morning. So, yeah. So, for now, I appreciate you guys tuning in. You guys have a wonderful day, a wonderful night. Have a great rest of your few hours of the weekend left. Forecaster Bryce will start doing your forecast on Tuesday mornings. We'll have another forecast with update with me probably tomorrow evening, as we've been doing the last couple of days. We'll continue to do that tomorrow evening, and then a new start to things starting on Tuesday morning potentially. So get ready for that. For now, you guys have a blessed evening, and I'll see y'all back here on your Monday. But again, actually, yeah, next time you should see me is on Monday, unless we get any big changes or any storms randomly start to pop up in the next few hours. But next time y'all see me could be around 2 or 3 in the morning. I hope not, but y'all could potentially. But again, the chances are very low, so most likely you will see me back here sometime tomorrow evening. Good night, guys.